Well, the criminal case is really just getting started for Adam Coy, and legal experts say it could be an uphill battle to a conviction.
10 TV's Brittany Bailey looks at the odds. She joins us now live with more on that. Brittany?
Well, good evening. You may remember when the indictment for murder was announced for Adam Coy, the family of Andre Hill had a message. We are relieved, but not satisfied. But that murder conviction and incarceration the family is after may be pretty elusive.
While it's rare for an officer to be charged with murder resulting from an on-duty shooting, it's not a rare occurrence. We see, a dozen or more officers charged each year with murder or manslaughter resulting from an on-duty shooting.
Phil Stinson is a professor of criminal justice at Bowling Green State University. He's a former police officer and lawyer, and he's been studying crimes committed by law enforcement officers for years. The data he and his students have collected ends up here in this online database. It shows that since 2005, 130 officers have been charged with murder or manslaughter for on-duty shootings. Of those, only 44 have been convicted. 19 pleaded guilty, and 25 were found guilty by a jury. None have ever been convicted by a bench trial or trial by judge.
And even in the cases where it's been clear to me with the video evidence that a crime was committed, that an officer committed a criminal homicide, we've seen it's actually difficult for prosecutors to obtain convictions, even with what appears to be very strong video evidence.
Stinson says the cases often get off to a rocky start because they are treated differently than a civilian murder case from the get-go. That means by the time the case makes it to the prosecutor's office, there are already gaps, and those gaps can get even wider in the courtroom.
Once the defense starts their case and the defendant takes the witness stand, it seems that all the work of the prosecution just unravels at that point, because either the jury is unwilling to apply the legal standard of objective reasonableness, or they take the officer, the defendant's statements on the stand that their subjective belief that there was a threat, and they just behind the closed doors of a deliberation room simply are very unwilling to second guess the split-second life or death decisions of an on-duty police officer in a potentially violent street encounter.
Stinson says on average each year there are roughly 1,000 cases where an officer, a law enforcement officer, shoots and kills someone while on duty. Of those, just about 12 lead to criminal charges. The vast majority are deemed to be justified. Reporting live in Columbus, Brittany Bailey, 10 TV News.